Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, AJ Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnez Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. This Valentine's Day, make it sweet with Cupcake Cutie Boutique. They're serving fresh, hand-dipped chocolate-covered strawberries, perfect for date night, gifts, or a treat for yourself. For a limited time, order through DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Grubhub, and get 20% off our chocolate-covered strawberries. Love should taste this good. But don't wait, this Valentine's Day deal won't last long. If you've been thinking about investing but didn't know where to start, this is your sign. Presented by Black Westchester magazine and Noir Network, the Ownership Society is a community of like-minded people focused on building generational wealth 1 month at a time. No hype, no gambling, just disciplined investing, shared learning, and real ownership. Whether you start with $20 or $100, the key is consistency. Scan the QR code or click the link in the conversation to join us, download Robinhood, and take your first step toward owning your future. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land. On Wednesday, January 28th at Mount Vernon, New York City Hall, law enforcement and the community are coming together at Mount Vernon City Hall to stand with Officer Derek Williams, a 19-year police veteran battling kidney failure after contracting COVID while protecting the city. A press conference begins at 6:30 p.m., followed by the city council meeting at 7 p.m. Join us to demand that Mount Vernon follow state and federal laws protecting officers who contracted COVID-19 during the pandemic. Call 914-665-2300 to sign up to speak, in person or via Zoom. Silence protects failure. President demands accountability.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to Black Westchester magazine, the Sunday Rundown. We are in the house. And myself, Danny K. And Larnez Kinsey, AJ Woodson is wherever he is in his skin, but we are still rocking and rolling, and we have some conversations to go down today. I'm trying to pull up a lot of media because I was babysitting today, and I didn't get a chance to do what I was supposed to do. So, but I'm still trying to. We want to talk about this ICE, everything with ICE, because I think we are there's NAACP Yonkers. Good evening, welcome. I think because there's a lot of feelings behind this, and from an activist perspective, from a law enforcement perspective, and from just dealing with law, right? We have our feelings, and then we have the law and what the law is, and what can be done and what can't be done. And I just think it's going to get out of control. It's already out of control. And I knew it was coming sooner or later. I knew it because we create the atmosphere. You know, I don't know if anybody ever heard the comment when you create an atmosphere for something to happen. And it's just not Republicans. I see a lot of Negroes. It's Democrats too. So, you know, and we need to be honest about it. And now we have a loss of life where we have even other law enforcement agencies saying ICE is illegitimate, but they know damn well that they are just legitimate as they are. And I definitely don't want to hear, oh, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? You can hear me, right?
You. Yes. I can hear you.
Well, oh, I didn't have why is my mic not? All right. I'll work on that, see if I can work on that. And I don't want to hear Tish James say anything about this shooting. Please, somebody send her this video. She should not say anything about this shooting. And I don't want to hear any Democrat in Westchester County say anything about this shooting. And I'm going to explain why. Thank you. And I'm going to I'm going to explain why later, because it makes us hypocrites. And one thing I'm not trying to do in my old age, as I get older and I have different type of ailments that come on my body that I ain't never had before in my life. I don't want to be a hypocrite.
Well, I think the public outrage isn't random. I think it's rooted in years of unchecked power, fear, and racialized enforcement. Like, it's a trigger. And it's a trigger from people who have witnessed these actions against people. It's a trigger for people who have been involved and systematically involved in these injustices. So it's hard for people not to react. Even if you say they're being a hypocrite, it's hard for me to stand here and not say anything.
True. But we should look at it in the correct context. That's what I'm saying, because what I see, what I see, and without being called, you know, I mean, because if people can't have a decent conversation online, the first thing they want to put a label on you, MAGA nuts and all this other silly, immature, when lives are at stake, not just the lives of the civilians in the towns, the lives of the ICE agents, the lives of just people just going to work in the federal building, right? So people's lives are at stake, and we have heightened it to the point where someone got killed. And this is probably not the first, and it probably, you know, this is the first one that I've seen that with the national outrage, you know, and it's not going to be the last at this point, you know, because we're not controlling. I don't know, Jack. we're not controlling the crowd, you know, and we're not controlling, and we're not controlling the law, you know, and I think, you know, I think it's really sad, you know. So let's.
Well, Damon, it's about federal law enforcement operating in civilian spaces with minimal local accountability. Where is the accountability of local officers? You're here. Why is the federal government or ICE allowed to operate in these spaces and I don't want to say assistance, right? Because it's a trigger. Yeah. Right? I don't want to assist you in deporting anyone. I don't want to assist you in
But they did before. They did before.
But that doesn't mean it's right.
No, it's the law. I'm not, dude, listen, we can say it's not right, but it's the law. Right? When Obama was president, it's called 287G. And I know it for the fact because I spoke out against it. Right? I didn't speak out against it for them to do this. Right? I spoke out against it because of the fact that it would hamper the relationship with law enforcement in the community, especially the immigrant community, because of the fact that they will less rely on the police department. Right? True. And yes. Well, lynching was legal, but this was legal. I mean, dude, the Democrats you voted for, it worked well with them. And you can ask any police officer that worked, black, white, Hispanic, that worked when Obama was president, when they pulled somebody over and they checked their driver's license and it came up that they had an ICE warrant, they took them and they called ICE, and ICE came and got them. That's what they were doing under Obama. That's why the immigration organizations called President Barack Obama the deporter in chief. Not Republicans, right? Immigration organizations called him the deporter in chief. I was working in the jail in booking when we had to notify ICE when their time was being served, because usually they come in, they do 3 months, 6 months, it's just stupid stuff in the street, right? And then we find out that they're whatever. We used to have to let them, we used to have to, and then ICE will come. They usually came on a Thursday. And we used to have all them down in the holding cell, and ICE to come and pick them up and take them away. Wasn't no protests. Wasn't no police department saying that they were illegitimate.
Well, I'm sure the process wasn't broadcasted.
Right. Jack Toon, bro, the fact is Obama deported more migrants than any other president in history. And he still deported more than Trump has.
Yeah, that's
Trump hasn't even got close to deporting as many migrants as Obama has.
I think Obama tried to deport 21 Savage. He was going after rappers too.
Wait, exactly. When did Slick Rick get deported?
I think, was that under Obama too?
I think so.
Let me see.
Yeah, check to see when Slick Rick got deported. Or maybe that was under Biden because he went out on a cruise and couldn't get back in. So let's not. So see, we get all in our feelings about this, but we're not. Oh, how do you know?
2003, November 2003.
Yo, Jack, how do you know Obama didn't kill anybody? Can you say that for certain? You can't. Because the only way you're going to find out if the press reported it. And if you didn't know that he deported more than any other president, you damn sure don't know that if ICE didn't kill anybody in the process. So I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest about that because we are fed the information. This is why we have independent news with a Black point of view.
I think Mr. Jones, I think this would still be happening because at the end of the day, ain't nobody at the border right now. Ain't nobody manning the border right now.
No, but ain't nobody coming over.
How do you know? Ain't nobody there to count them.
No.
Ain't nobody there to catch them. Ain't nobody there.
No,
everybody's
the border,
deployed.
No, the border is rocking and rolling. Ain't nobody coming over. The border is rocking and rolling. Nobody's coming over. They did that real quick. Ain't nobody coming over the border. Ain't nobody running. And then there's a misunderstanding of the immigration law. They say, well, if you get across the border, you made it to freedom. No, you have to go through the port of entry. Coming under fences, crossing waters, wading in the water like a slave, and coming over the brush and all that. That's not legal entry.
That's true.
Right? We have to have that discussion because you got AOC and all these other knuckleheads talking about that's legal entry. That is not legal entry. You can't do that in any other country. You can't. I mean, people can get upset with what I'm saying, but the facts are the facts. You can't do that in any other country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where niggas.
That's right, Jack. Everybody leaving.
Listen, I ain't going nowhere. Where you going? You going to Ghana? Listen, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying right here in America. You could go to all those countries you want to. You could go to all those other countries you want to. I'm staying right here in good old America. I'm not going to none of them countries because when they decide they don't want you, you're going to be calling Trump. Come get me out of here, please. But we have to, but seriously, we have to understand the law. Now, if the law, you have two warrants. You have civil warrants, and people can look this up. You have civil warrants. Well, yeah. Hey. We they want to replace the black people. Hey. We're gonna get into that, brother. That's another that's another discussion about this immigration.
Mm-hmm.
In the conversation, what was done and how is that? Well, that's the thing, right? Anybody can Google Tom Homan when he first was appointed when Trump won. He said specific things. Let us into the jails. We don't have to go out in the streets. This is what he said. This is what he said. Y'all don't have to like it. I really don't care. But this is what he said. Let us in the jails. We don't have to go out in the streets. But guess what? Nobody lets them in the jails. They used to pick up in the jails when I was working.
They still pick up now. Huh? They still pick up now. I mean, in my facility, they still pick up.
Right. But they don't, but see, the cooperation is less. Police departments are told, Mount Vernon Police Department are told not to assist ICE. Why would you, here's the question people should ask. If ICE is all that bad, why wouldn't you send your police department out there to make sure that they're doing the right thing? You can't arrest them, but you could control the environment. Well, that was the agreement, Jamal. That was the agreement that he had with Eric Adams to let him in Rikers Island. I don't know. Well, that's dead now. Eric is not the mayor anymore. But that was a conversation that people can pull up where he had that conversation that Eric was going to let them in Rikers. Why not do that?
Mm-hmm.
Why not do that? Because it's easier to start with those that break the law. I think we all. I think there's a fine line between to control. Yeah, no, I agree that too. I do agree, but it has to start somewhere. Well, yeah. My son is there for a violent crime.
Nonviolent.
A nonviolent crime. I'm not I personally don't feel people with addictions should be in jail. No, we need to. I mean, but that's a whole breakdown of the justice system. Mm-hmm. You know, under yes, baby. Can I go pee? Yeah, go right there. You have to ask me to do that.
She had to make her debut.
Exactly. I want everybody to see me that I gotta pee. I gotta pee, y'all. Amazing. I'm from Mount Vernon and was thinking of your show earlier. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Stop the madness and put the mm-hmm. Hey, listen. What did she say? Oh, look at the graphic. Yeah. Today was grandbaby day. I took all day putting together a Barbie super mansion, and it wore me out. It literally wore me out on them pieces and trying to make. I got to take a picture. I took a little video taking the stuff out the box. I got to take a picture of the finish. But it's amazing that I did it. Yes, baby girl. Oh, it locked up. So no. What you trying? What the grandbaby? Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Here you go. You got it? All right. So she watching Gabby's Dollhouse. You know, yeah, that's me, the granddaddy. Y'all don't see that side of me.
Wait, I like this, Damon. You all sensitive on. I ain't hear the aggression. She got you real calm.
You ain't hear all the madness, right? You like, yo, you need to keep him downstairs in the basement.
Last week you was like the T-Rex on Jurassic Park. Now you the dinosaur in Toy Story.
I don't know whether it's a black Barbie, white Barbie mansion. It's a Barbie mansion, and I had to put it together. But it's going to be a black one because we got black Barbie dolls. So it's got a little black Ken with flip flops and cornrows. Ain't that something? They ain't even give him no sneakers or nothing. They give. I wish I could grab that little Ken doll. They don't put the Ken. They put the black Ken and flip flops and got him on cornrows, looking like he from Compton.
Well, you know it ain't real unless he has the flip flops and the socks on. If he has the socks,
he didn't have the socks on.
So then that means he ain't no regular.
If he would have had the socks on, I would have been done. I would have been done. You know, I would have been straight up done if he had the socks on. If he had the socks on. But I think, you know, I'm trying to find. Listen, it's so many crazy videos out there, and this is all right. We do a class called "How to Survive Police Confrontation," and if anybody wants to watch the video or view a part of NAACP, you need to have me come over there in the meeting and show the video and talk about it, because we need to get back to talking about not what do you do when you stop by the police, but how do you survive police confrontation? Because if y'all keep following these white liberals, they're gonna kill some black folks. See, they ain't hold back shooting that white lady. and this is Black Westchester. I'm going to talk like this because I'm talking to a lot of black folks.
Mm-hmm.
So you think I would like to, because I don't want my son doing extra time. Not at all. Well, you can reach out to us at Black Westchester Sis, and we'll respond and try to help you with your son. Because if he's there with addiction, maybe we could give you some resources, and this is what we do here at Black Westchester. Maybe we could find your son some resources and find you some resources, sis, that we can assist you and your son in fighting addiction. You could just go to blackwestchester.com and reach out to us. So, we could help you. You from Mount Vernon. So, I'm in Mount Vernon. AJ is in Mount Vernon. So let's work on something, but reach out to us, and maybe we could help you and your son dealing with what you're going through, because the criminal justice system is not built for addiction, especially if you're black. So we gotta make our we gotta make our community a safe place to live. And would like to print. Okay, well, we'll reach out to us, sis. And we send him to the same rehabs that they sent the kids. But but the issue with that, Jack, is black folks ain't got the money to do that. Black folks ain't got the money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
To send their kids to the same rehab. See, this is the problem. Our rehab is jail. 6 months, 7 months, and then we're told by white counselors, white programmers, how to get our life right, and there's not one black person talking to these young black kids.
And then they're not talking from a lived experience either.
Exactly.
It's hard for me to talk to you about addiction if I've never been addicted to the same thing you were addicted to. I don't know the monster that you fighting.
Well, sis, just reach out to us and we could see what we could do and see what help we could get you for you and your son. I mean, that's the best we could do, and you're right. Like, how are you going to talk? How do you have a conversation with a young man who has more things in jail than he had living in the projects? He got a PlayStation. He got an iPad. This is in jail.
He got medication so he can get high whenever he wanted.
Exactly.
Go ask for a PRN.
Exactly. So how do you talk to a young black man like that? And the mistake that the county jail does is they don't utilize.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Keisha. I'm on it. I'm definitely, as soon as I heard him drop that, we definitely scheduling that 223, Damon.
I'm there. I'm there, and I'm bringing my video. I worked hard on this video. And then we can have an open conversation after the video. But we have to, and we used to do this. I'm there. I'm putting it in my calendar too, and I'll be suited and booted. And we used to have these forums a lot. We don't have them enough anymore to have these conversations because we are being led by a lot of white folks that even Here's what I want to say, and then I'm going to try to find some other videos while we talk about it. There is a level of white supremacy, even in white liberals, that they know better for us than we know what is for us, what we want for us, and in the Black community. I'm just having this conversation because we need to have it. Absolutely. Dr. Claude Addison. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have to start having conversations in our spaces. The last 10 years, we have allowed white liberals to tell us what we need in our communities. And it hasn't worked. Because our communities didn't get better. Because we're not telling them. Not everything is racism. A lot of things is discipline and proper education. I'm gonna try to find these videos. Y'all talk. I'm done. Cause I wanna have some laughs. AJ,
what's up?
AJ, what's going on?
You was going from the ice thing on. I just sat there.
Yeah. But I need to shut up so I want to find Rochelle Bilal's video, and I want to put up Ice's response. So y'all can talk. I'm just trying to find this stuff here. Excuse me.
Jamel, Malcolm did warn us in the 60s about white liberals.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely did. And look, what, almost 40 years and we're still fighting the same fight. We're still watching out for the same things.
Mm-hmm.
40 years, 60 years. Malcolm said that in the 60s.
Right, 26, right, 60 years. We still fighting for the same things. We still fighting the same system. We still fighting against each other.
10 years ago, I wrote about Malcolm's word 50 years ago rang true today. That was 10 years ago. I wrote that article.
Wow. Trying to find her video.
Keisha be on it, boys. Keisha was like, yo.
Who's the
AJ just showed up after getting stopped by ICE. Yeah, they delayed me coming on today. Jack Toon ain't got no damn sense.
No, he don't. No, not at all.
That would be a good reason to be late though. You know, hey, yo, ICE stopped me. So two things. So Slick Rick got his situation was 2002. The judge ruled that it was over in 2003, and he didn't get deported. What he did is, you can be deported for having a felony, and he did have a felony. And after having a felony, he got on a Tom Joyner cruise, which left U.S. waters. And then when he tried to come back in, they said that was considered self-deportation, and they got him for trying to sneak back in the country. That's what he got arrested for. He didn't get deported. He got arrested for coming back in the country. So once it left U.S. into international waters, it was like, that was self-deportation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's just a little clarification on the Slick Rick thing. That's what that was. I was lucky to be one of the few people that he actually allowed him. Actually, one of the first he allowed to do an interview with him. It was over the phone, but while he was in jail, because he wasn't doing a lot of interviews at the time. And then he did a few more. And one of the things I asked him, like, yo, why don't you just, like, instead of sitting in jail for over a year fighting for it, why don't you just, go back home to London, and you're an international superstar. You could make money everywhere. He was like, his family, everything grew up here. Like, everything was here. He wasn't. So he fought, and he was allowed to stay. Peace, Brother John. Yeah, so he was allowed to stay. So that was that. There was something else y'all said that the date was wrong, and I forgot what. I looked it up. I forgot what it was. Yes, sir. Y'all talked about Wade Hardy already?
No, not yet. We only got to ICE.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to jump the gun, but congratulations to my brother, the first
Black
African
commissioner.
American commissioner of
Mhm.
public safety in the
Mhm.
city of White Plains. Um, so he had a swearing in. We were all there the other night. When did I come home? Monday? It was Tuesday. Yeah, so I just came home. I came back just for that, and
Mm.
went Tuesday. So he will be the cover of the January newspaper. And for all of y'all still trying to advertise, y'all got a week. Get your ads and your checks in. Y'all got y'all got a week. So and there's plenty of ad spaces left. So
Mhm.
you know, and like PBS said, and it's brought to you by the good people like you. What the hell they say? So it's like advertisers and good people like you. So that's how the paper get paid for. So you take out your ads, and you know what I mean, and so the paper, y'all got a week to get your ad in. Yeah, so he will be the cover of the newspaper. I'm still reaching out. Anybody else that like wanted to leave a quote or something? Like I got quotes from the former DA, the current DA, who he both worked under, the first black police commissioner in New Rochelle, Terrence Rayner, the first black police commissioner in Westchester County Police, Ken Jenkins, the county exec, the head of the Westchester Guardians, several other people, the head of the White Plains Greenberg NAACP. So anybody like that, anybody in law enforcement, y'all know him, y'all want to give a quote or something, send it to blackwestchester@gmail.com if I can. I'm trying to, it'll be one whole page of just quotes, people celebrating him. So I'll try to get as many of those in. So we're going to celebrate him like only Black Westchester's going to celebrate him. I mean, everybody talked about him, but, you ain't going to get celebrated. Like Black Westchester going to celebrate you, put you on the
Mhm.
level. NAACP. Keisha said I'll send mine tonight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we got him on the cover, and I'm still gathering all the quotes and pictures from the event. But it was good. It was a good situation. They got a new mayor now, Justin Brass, who I know when he was on the council, and that was one of the first things he did, appoint Wade the police commissioner. So well, there's a commissioner of public safety. He is over
Mhm.
police, fire, and EMS. Yeah, he's a commissioner of all that. Yeah, so it was a who's who, and
Well, I'm excited. I love Justin. Like he's down to earth. He is an like just when he shares his lens with you, it it shows that you want to really impact the community in the right way. So
he
maybe we could get him on the show. I'm
oh,
gonna
he's
have
coming. He's coming on the show. We've
yeah,
already talked
definitely.
about it. He's coming on the show. He also, we first got well. I like. I wrote something, and he wanted to give me his perspective on it. He contacted me right away. That's how we met.
Mhm.
It's like, but also when you know, during the Kenneth Chamberlain case, he was part of the White Plains Dems that wrote a strongly worded letter statement saying that the city of White Plains needs to settle with the Chamberlain family.
Mm.
And he was with Justin was part of the Westchester the White Plains Dems that wrote that letter. So he was, you know, so we'll see. The different better than all the three commissioners in NYC. What a joke that is. um, yeah. So, um, but yeah. Yo, man, Dammy. That's how you pronounce his name.
Mhm.
He got at least three of his appointees so far that they getting pushback on, that they found stuff that they did before they was appointed, like was questionable situations, and then the dude that was a holdover from the Eric Adams situation administration. There's something. So he so far 3 of his appointments already there's some controversy over already.
Well, it seems like every day he appointed a commissioner. You're a commissioner. You're a commissioner. Here's my other. Like every single day.
Well, I mean, that's what they do in the beginning because that's what the mayor do. The mayor appoints. There's a lot of commissioners to be appointed. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he times them out. I guess he don't do them all in one day. He times them all.
Right.
Like these
every
2 on
single
Tuesday,
day,
these
it's a new commissioner.
Wednesday, these 15 on Thursday. These 5 on Friday. Man, damn me, I'm still on the fence about. I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna see, what people say a lot of things when they're campaigning, but then they have to govern. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see.
Hey, brother, I don't know. You
start the New York Communist Party.
You said you across the border. Is that MV Mount Vernon? Because they just raised your taxes, man. Like. You might want to go back.
Came across the border. Mount Vernon.
If you know, like I know.
You Mount Vernon, Texas.
What's wrong with these Negroes?
Yeah, Mount Vernon taxes just went up, and then there's not only there was taxes, and there's like a new rubbish tax in addition to that, and then on top of the rubbish tax, there's another fee. Like if you had put out stuff like big ticket items like a mattress or something like that, you just call to get picked up. Now those things, there'll be a fee for all of those things. People like, we got to pay a new rubbish tax and we got to pay for that. So there's a lot of people pushing back on that, and there's a lot of questionable things that when the community's not happy with I use this example all the time. My sister lives in Loudoun County in Virginia, one of the highest tax counties, but she doesn't mind paying the higher taxes because she says every time she leaves her house, she sees her tax dollars at work. So she doesn't mind paying the higher taxes. Problem is when you pay higher taxes and you question it, well, what you doing with my tax dollars? Like you don't see you're not seeing your tax dollars at work. And that's in any municipality, I guess. Like you paying and you ain't seeing no representation. Like what y'all doing with my tax dollars?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mount Vernon is going to look like a junkyard. Oh, damn.
I don't know about that.
Damn. You didn't put the whole city. You got the whole city of Mount Vernon looking like Sanford and Son backyard.
But listen, Mount Vernon has a lot.
He said that's all right. He's still moving north. Out of the 5 boroughs.
Hey, listen, I lived in Mount Vernon, and now I live an hour north. I had to get up out of there, and I feel I really feel bad for the people of Mount Vernon because it's just not one administration. And we'll roll into his letter to Black Westchester. I'll get back to Rochelle Bilal later on.
Just to give you a perspective, David lives so far up there. When he put in location near me, Pennsylvania comes up. It don't even be New York location. It'd be like he said, because the first time he did, he said, because we bank at Wells Fargo, and he had to deposit something or go to get some paperwork or something. And he's like, I'm putting Wells Fargo on me. Why all Pennsylvania locations come up? He's on the Pennsylvania borderline. Like he's literally.
It was closer. They ended up now I got to go to Newburgh, but there's one that's close, but it don't come up on the thing. Like I have to really, next time I run across it, I really got to take a picture of it and text it to myself, right? Because it doesn't come up on the Wells Fargo thing, but there is a Wells Fargo that's it's like 10 minutes away. I can never find I'm driving. I say, oh my God, there's a Wells Fargo, right? But it never comes, and then I forget about it until I need to go to the bank, right? I do all my banking online. I rarely never go to a physical bank. So I always forget. And now the one that was close in Pennsylvania, they done closed that one down. Right? So now it's just feasible for me just to go to Newburgh. And then because I had to drive another like 40 minutes into Pennsylvania to get to another Wells Fargo bank. So, I mean,
He's going to have to go to Vermont for the nearest one. He's so far north.
Yo, it's insane, man. Like Wells Fargo is not one of the big banks up here, but I do own my banking with Wells Fargo. So it is what it is. It's a lesson learned.
When I lived in Georgia, they all over Georgia, boy. There's Wells Fargo. They Wells Fargo walking distance from another Wells Fargo. I'm like, well, damn. Like, it's like, what the hell?
Well, so what we was gonna move into? It was something we was talking about. I totally forgot.
Well, I know I started talking about Wade, but I said I'd wait for y'all to bring it up. I didn't know if y'all had talked about it yet.
Oh, I thought y'all was talking about it.
No, we were waiting for you to bring this video.
I just mentioned it because I was like, I asked her, did y'all speak about it?
What the hell, y'all?
And I just said congratulations.
Oh, y'all talking about Justin Branch. Oh, all right. So listen, Wade Hardy, congratulations, my brother Wade Hardy. He is he's a friend of the show. He has made history as the first Black public safety commissioner of White Plains, man. Congratulations, and we're gonna give him a round of applause. Wade Hardy, and you know what? I think I feel real good personally because I see a lot of people, whether it's law enforcement or politically, Ken Jenkins, you know what I'm saying? First black county exec of Westchester County, the only Black county exec and any of the county executives in New York. To see Terrence Rayner, to see my brother from New Rochelle, to see Wade Hardy, to see people that I grew up with are now in these positions to make change. Let's start making some goddamn change. You know what I'm saying? It's all out of love.
Absolutely.
It's all out of love. Chemung County has a Black county executive. Oh, I got to look at that one because it didn't come up when I did my search. Mm-hmm. But big shout out to Chemung County.
Where's that at? That's New York?
Huh? I don't know where that is. I ain't never heard of it. Oh. Yeah. So big shout out. And Negro's gonna be partying next month at the congressional Black
absolutely.
Caucus. It's in Elmira.
Justin Brass, the new mayor, he said he not only is he the first African American to be appointed the public safety commissioner, he's the first Black person to hold a rank higher than captain in the city of White Plains.
Wow. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Justin, 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 big. You did your thing, man, and we appreciate you. You have always been part of the fight, in White Plains, and you have a great opportunity of being a mayor in the county seat, to actually give change, man. I can't wait to have you on the show. We want to talk about economic development. We want to talk about how do we foster, and we're working on getting Ken on the show, and it's the same conversations, man. Like how do we foster better businesses with Black people in Westchester? It's only 2%, 2% Black businesses, in Westchester County. How do we make that bigger? How do we grow that? Because the Black middle class historically was based on General Motors, civil service.
you know, and now that General Motors is gone, we have to focus on expanding Black businesses and getting Black city contracts and making sure young Black and brown people are actually being trained in the workforce of tomorrow. And that's just not in White Plains. That's in Yonkers. We want to have that conversation in Yonkers, in Peekskill, in Greenburg, and in Mount Vernon. We have to have that conversation. New Rochelle, we have to have that conversation. How are we doing it? Because we are living in one of the most richest counties in the world. In the world. Well, in the country, definitely, and probably in the world. If we're one of the richest in the country, we're one of the richest in the world. Right? So how do we do that? Right? What type of lens do we have to look through to make that happen? You know, and it's not being adversarial. It's let's just make it work. You know, let's make it work and let's figure out ways, you know, to make it work. Let's figure out ways to make sure, you know, everybody has an opportunity to be great. You know, along with the greatness that God put in everybody to be great, we also have to have systems that allow everybody to be great. You know, so Ken said Ken said he's only the second. He's only the second in the state. Yeah. And I've also think that Ken, we need a new call center for the jail, at least to check in on those without family members. Yes, well, those are the conversations you have to have with the Westchester County commissioner of Westchester County Jail Commissioner. What programs do you have? See, we don't ask questions.
Well, you know, we have to also know, as the Black community, how do we support Black leadership without, you know, suspending criticism, right?
Exactly.
How can we support? And that's what I'm going to ask when they come on the show, right? How can the Black community support to get access, to get resources, to understand how we need to show up to qualify for these resources?
Right. See, and we just can't put people in place. There's some people that have jobs that shouldn't have jobs because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Right. And we need to be honest. We need to have real honest conversation. Look, I'm too my adversarial time is over.
Facts.
My adversarial time is over. I'm just going to hit you with truth. That's it. And I'm hitting you with truth out of love. Yes, I was a rah-rah dude, right? But those days is over. I'm you know, listen.
Grandpa, you grandpa now.
Exactly. What's the saying? Old men for counsel, young men for war.
Absolutely.
Right? And I see too many of people. I see too many people that I have grown up with in the struggle are now in positions of power. So the conversation is how do we take these positions of power and create change? That's all. Listen, that's all I want to talk about. Now, if we get to the adversarial part, you can't say that Brother Damon wasn't all the way with you until you ain't do what you supposed to do.
Well, we should be able to celebrate milestones and still demand transformation. The two things are not enemies. They're
absolutely, not. Absolutely. We, Black Westchester, we are supposed to hold our elected officials' feet to the fire, our leaders' feet to the fire, and you should, and also what Damon was saying, also by the time we done wrote about it and we done talked about it on the show, we done had conversations with you. We done tried to call you, talk to you. We done met with you. We done sat with you. Damon was on the advisory board for this and that and the other in the county. Like we tried. We didn't just come out the gate saying, "Oh, you ain't shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, we tried to work with you. We tried to make some suggestions. You know, we tried to work with you in any way we can. We definitely had conversations with all of you Black elected officials and the Black elected officials that ain't elected no more. You know who you are. And we've been had these conversations with you. And so by the time I wrote about you, be like, yo, it starts out, you know, we had this conversation. Cause you know what I'm saying? But yes, we celebrate. We're gonna celebrate, you know, when you come in. But that doesn't. The thing is, they think sometimes some of them think because they're Black and because we're Black Westchester, they're supposed to get a pass. That's bullshit. Yo, we're supposed to hold your feet to the fire even more because you're supposed to know better. You understand what I'm saying? You from these same communities that you know, you understand what we've been through and what we didn't have and all that. So when you start doing the same bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna hold you even at a higher, you know what I'm saying, than we're gonna hold everybody else.
Well, AJ, that should be one of our questions. What does accountability look like when these electives look like the community, but are leading the same system? Right? How does that look? What does it feel like? Are you there to protect the system, or are you there to kind of reveal a way for us to be uplifted?
Shout out to Joe Murray, Attorney Joe Murray. Shout out. Appreciate you.
Listen, we have to. We listen. We just have to do it. There's no excuses no more. Right? I don't want to hear excuses. You are the lawmakers, and I had this conversation with a lawmaker. You make the law.
Mm-hmm.
You are the lawmaker. So you make the law.
And those are the ones that tell you, oh, we can't do that because you don't want to make the laws. So y'all change the ones y'all want to change. So,
exactly.
Like,
who's benefiting? Right? If you are there, right? If you are the first, that's heavy, right? You're the first. Now, because you're the first, do we accept the bare minimum because you're the first?
No.
Or do we accept excuses? Look, one thing Trump has taught everybody, love it or hate it, that you, in whatever capacity, political capacity, you could do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like.
If we haven't learned anything, y'all can hate Trump. I don't care if you hate Trump, but there are lessons. There are lessons in his presidency. And one of them are, you could do whatever you want to do. So all this stuff Obama was saying that he couldn't do, he could have did for Black folks. Trump do it for white folks. He do it for people that were loyal to him. See, he's a businessman. He's not a politician. He's based on loyalty. If you're loyal to me, I'm going to take care of you. So the people that's loyal to him, he takes care of, and he don't give no excuses. He wasn't shy about why they went into Venezuela. They going for the oil. He ain't cut no. He ain't playing none of that. He wasn't shy about making the peace deals in Africa and bombing over Nigeria.
He's not even shy about Greenland. Exactly. He's not shy about Greenland. He said, we're not letting nobody have Greenland because you're too close. You're too close.
So he is showing us what politicians can do if they want to do it. So when Democrats get in, they give us excuses about reparations.
But that's learned behavior. That's what they've
They
been
give us
watching.
excuses.
But it's learned behavior.
No, but it's our fault. We don't demand it when we put them in office.
We accepting the bare minimum.
Exactly. Obama had 2 terms and skated around and skated around pardoning Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Mm.
And nobody said anything. Trump pardoned whoever the hell he wants to. Biden pardons his family. They do what they want to do. But we don't put no demands. We just give them our vote. And we get nothing.
But that's what we're taught. Vote, vote, vote. But we're not told, and I can't say we, right? A lot of people that I know, a lot of people that are learning why it's so important to vote now, don't know what is the process after they vote the person in. What should they be expecting? And that is a conversation we need to have too. Okay, you vote them in. Now what? What's the process? How are you going to get your points? How are you going to make the impact in your community? How is your voice heard? Not only from your vote. Because people showing up, people are impactful. If I stop spending my money there, it's going to impact you.
Absolutely.
We have to learn our power.
Absolutely. 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 Absolutely.
Yeah, but finishing off that last thing, we gotta we put these we gotta stop voting for people because they're our friends or we went to school with them or voting for somebody just because they're black is not a reason to vote for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of people that I'm really cool with, but I'd be damned if I voted them. If I voted for them, though. Like, you my man, but I'm not voting for you to run the city or be in the city council. I'm not voting for you for dog catching. But I'm like, but you, huh?
or they ran track. I hear the most.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. My wife came home one day and somebody said to her on the street and told her she should run for mayor. I said, Montika. Look at AJ just sitting there. I said, who told you that? No, we don't need popular mayors. We had that before. And that's why Mount Vernon is in the political conundrum that is in now. That's why it's broke. Mm-hmm. And let's leeway into that letter. The city has no money. So we did an article talking about the letter from the comptroller's office in December. And I will say, on the record, I should have contacted Morton first, but I didn't because I'm multitasking. I'm doing the same stuff. The letter was important. I did the article. Now, in the letter, the comptroller's office specifically stated that if they wanted oversight, oversight body of the city, that it had to go through your state representative. So that means Jamal Bailey, who is in the Senate, and Gary Pretlow, who's in the Assembly, will have to pass legislation and get it signed off for oversight, right? Same way as the school board. Mm-hmm. So I put that information in. We're giving people, we're empowering people. If this is what y'all talk about, y'all want, this is how you got to do it. Other than that, shut up, right? If you're not going to do the things to make it happen, then it is what it is. So 2 days later, I had a long talk with Morton. So he explained everything, in which, I have no problem writing rebuttals or writing what we get because we it's not personal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a business. Black Westchester, whether people like it or not, it's a business. And we try to keep everything 100. And it's not Mount Vernon needs a Trump-like business person. The lead economic revolution that needs to happen there. Well, hey.
Mm-hmm.
so politically illiterate. so he responded, and he officially responded, and here's the thing: I was talking to him on the way to Wade Hardy's swearing in, right? So I got 45-minute drive. So let's have a conversation. So I said, look, put everything in the letter, send it to me, and I'll do the article. So I did the article. And we need absolutely. You're absolutely right. So I explained everything. And what was crazy was the response from some people, even some ignorant people that left a comment, and I had to respond to them. If a man starts, he gets in office, and then he has to correct 4 years of his predecessor, and which he did. He did all the reports. He did all that. In order for him to do his years, he had to do the past years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, baby. Huh? Okay. So he has to do his past years. There you go. He has to do his past years. So in order to do that, so people had a problem with that. And I'm like, look, you can't say nothing has been done. And you just can't hold one person accountable for the financial mess that the city of Mount Vernon has. You got to hold the city council accountable. You got to hold the commissioners accountable, right? You got to hold the supervisors in these departments accountable. You got to hold the city workers accountable. See, because they're going to retire and get a pension off of the dysfunction of the city government.
Mm-hmm.
My wife worked there, right? You benefit from the dysfunction. So, and then when the people had a chance to change the process in the charter commission, they failed. And I don't hear nobody talking about that anymore because you just go get your signatures, submit it, and then they have to put it on the next thing. You really don't need a charter commission, excuse me. If you want charter change, the state law allows you to go get a certain amount of petitions and submit it to the city clerk, and then they have to follow through. So what was that?
I think you have to put it on the ballot, and the people still have to vote for it.
Right. You got to put it on the ballot. But so nobody's talking about that no more. So what the hell y'all was talking about all this time? You just didn't like the people that was in office.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't do the right thing to get them out of office. So the financial stability of Mount Vernon is in jeopardy. Ain't no doubt about that.
The key
but
thing
you get the government you vote for.
Just reading a paragraph what you wrote. When Comptroller Morton took office in 2022, He did not inherit a functioning financial system. He had inherited years of unresolved audits, incomplete records, and institutional breakdown. Before addressing the fiscal years tied to his elected term, he was required to complete the outstanding audits left undone under former Comptroller Deborah Reynolds. The reality shaped everything that followed, completing audits for fiscal years 2016 to 2020 and filing the 5 corresponding state annual financial reports was not optional work, it was a prerequisite work. Without resolving the backlog, the city could not move forward in any meaningful or compliant way.
Right. Now, that allowed, what did that allow? That allowed Richard Thomas 2.0 to run amok in spending, because they're smart enough to understand it cannot be real accounting for that money from the controller's office, because he didn't have the basis to start the accounting, because he had to do the 4 years that Deborah Reynolds, which the same people that are against Morton supported. I'm just keeping it 100. So y'all supported someone that was in there 4 years, ain't do a goddamn thing, and then you mad at the person. You mad at the new person that got to do the work of the person that you voted in, that y'all supported, that ain't do a goddamn thing. That's the way I see it. If it's different, somebody please explain. And that's the same person you supported to knock out Maureen Walker.
I want to add though, what people are not getting as far as Darren Martin is concerned. In a time when we have elected officials, their whole thing is the person before them did this, and it's the person before them's fault, and it's the person before them's fault. Yo, he took on the task. He didn't sit there and have press conference about what Deborah Reynolds didn't do. He worked on trying to rectify the situation, and then was transparent on what he was doing. And yo, I always say, I'm not saying he perfect by any means. Ain't no elected official perfect, but that transparency, you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the main things I can ask for somebody. Everybody's still talking about, oh, the money that they got scammed out of, the city got scammed for. You know how you found out? He told you. It wasn't like you found out and be like, yo, controller, what's going on? He put out a statement and told you it happened. That's how you found out. So, you know, and then, you know, he said he worked on some systems so it can't happen again, hopefully. So I mean, those are some main things that I look for in elected officials: transparency and accountability to the people. And he constantly has these town halls where he knows they're going to be coming to, huh?
Come in the camera.
Hey, Montika, how you doing?
Hi.
Yeah,
Got the
so
grandbaby in there.
Jones family, she done came on the camera about 8 times.
Yeah, she made her debut. She made her debut.
I'm here now, so she's gonna
say bye to everybody. Say bye.
Bye. Good night.
But that's what you should look for in your elected officials. And yeah, you might not like the things that he has to say, but he keeps it real with you and lets you know what's going on. And the response is, we blame him and we criticize him. Where we wasn't getting that kind of accountability before him, and we wasn't calling her out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's kind of crazy the way it works. And one person can't come in. One person is not going to walk in on day one and clean up decades worth of dysfunction. It ain't gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you know what disheartens me is every time a black face is elected, sometimes it comes with impossible expectations.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
This man came and he pulled out his mop bucket and he started cleaning up the mess. Right? So now he can clearly see the way. And from our conversation, he stated that he's building systems, right? For timelines, for budgets, for accountability. What more can you ask for? It's not going to happen at the speed of light. It's not. This mess didn't happen at the speed of light.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. Mount Vernon needs a real detailed, well-developed economic development plan that can pitch to the Trump administration for funding and support. Listen, Joe Murray is America First Trump supporter, so we got them all. See, Black Westchester, we just don't have Democrats. We just don't have blacks. We just don't have whites. We have everybody. See, that's how you know you keep it 100 because everybody watched the show.
Well, that's journalism, right? I want to
Exactly.
rent everyone's lens so we can have a conversation for a positive, empowered movement.
Right. So
we punch on both sides too. We're not left leaning, not right leaning. You Democrat, Republican, Independent, Conservative. If you ain't doing your business, you're gonna get punched at. We're gonna punch on both sides. We are very critical of Democrats.
We the watchdogs.
We've been very critical. We've been very critical of Republicans. We've been critical about black elected officials and as much as white elected officials. So it's like, yo, you can't just say one thing. Like, I mean, a lot of stuff that's being said is stuff that we've been saying for the last 11 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because we've had both, except for the city of Mount Vernon, and all of those situations, we've had both Republican and Democratic candidates, from county exec on president to everything. We've had the state senate, and we've had all of that, both sides. So, you know,
go for it, Joe. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, go for it, Joe.
Oh, Santos. Oh my God. Santos is like the big. Yeah, I ain't even talking about Santos. Anyway, Santos.
And I think listen. Bianca, what you said. I might want to do a show on the we really have to examine how black nonprofits are not getting the same funding as white nonprofits.
Talk about it, please do.
Right, and how government municipalities, and I use the jail as an example because I worked up there for 33 years. I never seen black nonprofits do real work with black men. I've seen white women doing work with black boys.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or they bring black women in that say they have to mansplain. What in the world is mansplain?
Mm-hmm.
See, when I hear a black woman say that, that means she's listening to the wrong information.
Mm-hmm.
You should never have to see, if you have to mansplain something, then you shouldn't be in that program for men. I'm just being straight music. Part of our problem, I'm going to go back, is that we have allowed white folks to take our spaces in recovery and addiction.
We ask permission. We ask permission. Exactly. It's even with our children, right? I recall my twins, right? My twins were lactose intolerant when they were a baby. They had Machine Gun Kelly farts, right? This is random. I went to my doctor and changed their milk. The doctor asked me who gave me permission to change the milk. I said, who gave me permission? I slept with the man that created these babies. Exactly. I know he lactose intolerant.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about? I changed the doctor. What are you talking? How dare you ask me who gave me permission to make a decision about my child? How dare you?
Exactly. So
somebody said Oh, she got twins like me. Like,
Yeah, no, but see, we need people. We need to be in these spaces, and we need to be strong in these spaces, and we need to support each other in these spaces. You know, we have to do this stuff ourselves. I can't.
Ecosystem.
I can't say that. You know, I can't say anything else. You know, we have to do it for ourselves. And just like Brother Askew said, look at all the fraud that's going on with these nonprofits. They ain't even us. Like, you know, Black folks are just happy to get a program funded.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about these people were getting $5-6 million for daycares that wasn't even open.
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't even from the country.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it twisted. I don't have no problem with people coming from other countries coming in America. What I do have a problem with is that we don't get the same finances and the same support that they do. Right? But whose fault is that? Because if you look at Minnesota and the Somali community, they have their representation all the way up to the federal government.
Mm.
And they're community minded. We get up there and then we want to be about everybody.
I really think it's a whitewashing of our mentality. Okay, we're in this space. We're so used to not being in this space, so we just need to adapt.
Hey, Joe, we gonna talk about that money, brother. Because Mount Vernon needs a new police department, right? It needs you can't fight crime in 2025 when the police department built in the 1920s and 30s. You can't do it. There's no way. It's not built for that. That's how a man can get a gun in his butt to go into the holding cell and go up to court and then discharge it on the way to the jail because the police department is not built for 2025 security.
Well, they scared to touch people now. They scared to do their job.
Well, listen. You got to have proper leadership. No matter what police department, you have to have proper leadership. And something that has been lacking for a minute is proper leadership. Every time they had somebody that was in there to make universal change, they ended up getting rid of them.
Robert Kelly.
Exactly, Robert Kelly. And remember, AJ, he came on kind of defensive, kind of fly, and then when we started talking, he was like, "Oh, this Negro actually know what he's talking about."
Yo, you know, but the beautiful thing about him, he ain't run from the smoke. He wanted the smoke. Like I seen him 5 times in a row. Yo, why y'all ain't put me on the show? When y'all gonna put me on the show? When y'all gonna let me come on the show? When y'all gonna put me on the show? I want to come on the show and talk about it. Like,
right. See, he was listening to Richie and Spezio, and he thought he was gonna come on the show and bring me the smoke. But when he started, you could tell by the show, little adversarial in the beginning. But when we started talking and I started saying things, I could catch how he was looking, the responses he was giving on the things. And then it was like, yo, bro, I feel what you're saying, but it could be a little better if you do this. Oh man, yeah. It was, and he left a friend of the show. Mm-hmm. He left a friend of the show. You know, and this is my argument, and this is my discussion with people. Law enforcement is not our enemy. Black people fought for us to be in these positions. The problem is when we put Black faces in these places, they didn't change the system, they managed the system. Historically, even Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow, if you get out of your emotions and really look at what she said, She basically said, in all these years, we had black people, we had black judges, we had black police commissioners, we had black sheriffs, we had black politicians, we had black people on the Supreme Court, we had black people in all these spaces. But it still led to the new Jim Crow because they didn't go to change the system, they managed the system. So we have to empower people that they're able to change the system. And we have to support the brother in New Rochelle. We have to support the brother in Greenberg. We have to support the brother Wade. We have to support these people. And we have to be honest with them because everybody is going to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
Wade's going to get a test. Brother New Rochelle is going to get a test. Greenberg is going to get a test. It's just, that's nature. I'm not wishing nothing bad. That's how the universe works.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the scripture says. Even the Holy Quran, paraphrasing. You think you're going to claim faith and you love the Lord and God is not going to test you in that faith? I'm paraphrasing. Don't get crazy now. But it's in Holy Quran and in Bible. Where they say God is going to test you on your faith. Everybody gets tested for what they stand for. The case is being tested now with the case in Peekskill. Yes, Brother Neil Reynolds. The case is being tested right now with the case in Peekskill. And so is Vivian McKenzie, the mayor, is being tested right now with the case, black mayor, being tested right now with the case in Peekskill. How is she going to handle it as a mayor?
Yes, Neil Reynolds is the commissioner in New Rochelle. Yes.
And let me tell you.
Shout out to Paul Hood. Shout out to Paul Hood. When he saw me at the after Wade got sworn in, he was like, "Yo, AJ, we got 4 of them now. We got 4 of our members." Talking about you got the county Territorial. You got Neil Reynolds in New Rochelle. You got the brother in Greenberg, and now you got Wade Hardy and White Plains. He's like, AJ, we got 4 of our members now. We got 4. Like I don't think he ever had 4. Like that's a big deal. That's a damn shame. That's a big deal. Out of 43 municipalities, that's a big deal.
So let me tell you something. And big shout out to Neil Reynolds. And if he's watching or someone knows him, and when I saw him, I meant to remind him of what he said to me years ago. He said to me, and I said this story, but never said his name. Neil Reynolds said to me how when he looked at Mount Vernon, and then Mount Vernon is the only police department that had the history of having black commissioners and blacks in leadership position for a long time. No other police commission, no other police department for years had that type of dynamic other than the Department of Correction. Other than the Department of Correction, we've been black. we've been, it's racism, but we had a lot of black supervisors. We had a black commissioner, black deputy commissioner. We had that. We had that in the 90s. But in the 90s and late 90s, no other police department had what we had. So he said how he admired what Mount Vernon had because local police departments never seen that. And he's absolutely right. Until after George Floyd, that's when the numbers came out and people started looking bad. Right? Mm-hmm. So now he's in the position to be that example for young black officers in New Rochelle. Ain't that, look how God works. The same person was like, man, we never had that to look up to. And let me tell you something, as a young black officer at 21 years old, walking across the stage, Nordy Jackson was bigger than life. He was bigger than life. And he was ours. And he represented being a black man, not no weak black man. Right? He wasn't no punk. You couldn't roll up on him, say anything stupid to him, public or in private. You understand? So we had an example on what we were supposed to be as black officers. And for years, police departments didn't have that. Nowhere in Westchester. Nowhere but Mount Vernon.
Shout to new Commissioner Wade Hardy, who's watching, because when I was saying they got 4 members, he said, yep, Neil Reynolds, Commissioner New Rochelle, Kobe Powell, Greenberg Police. He was starting listing them. So shout out. So that's the name I didn't have. Kobe Powell is the police chief and Greenberg. And I think the police chief, they don't have a commissioner. The police chief is the high position. Right. They don't have a commissioner.
And look, we are here. Right? Now we have to put what our elders in black law enforcement, from the National Black Police Association to the Grand Council of Guardians, right? What we talked about for years. I joined the National Black Police Association in 1992. I went to conferences all over. I went to conferences all over the country. So all those things, and now the National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice. But the whole thing is, they were elders, they were people, Roger Abel, they were all these people that push forth policy. How do we create policy, procedures, training, relationship with law enforcement in the black community? See, I admire all your brothers because y'all have an opportunity to put all that knowledge in all those years to work. To show that it can be better. We can do better. Mm-hmm. It's not a black and white thing. It's a justice thing, right? It's a mindset thing. It's a spiritual thing. Now we got to get the jail right. We don't focus on policing, and the jail just turned into the KKK. Yeah, I said it. Drop the ball up in the jail. We got to turn that around.
Well, the blackest person left, so like you left a void. Ain't nobody to pick up the mantle after you left. Like, all the blackness went out the door with you.
When I retired, it's just the whole jail turned white. Like, what's that white
no disrespect to any brothers. No disrespect to the few brothers and sisters that I know are doing the work, because there's a few. But you still, my point is made. Damon was the blackest thing up there. He left. He left for, I know a lot of them might leave. They happy to see you going too. Oh, thank God that he's gone.
Look, hey, Joe Murray on here selling Trump. President Trump has already $17 million spent to the biggest corporation to invest in America. We need to get some of that money for Mount Vernon. I hear you. Let's get this money. Yo, Joe, let's get this money, man. But hey, Joe, I hope you reached out to Derek, man. We got first, before we get this money from Trump, we got to get Derek right. And Derek Williams.
I I texted them the other day when we talked to see if they had met yet. They still got to meet.
Yeah. So listen, and this is the mindset, right? This is what I wanted to say. If you was you on the show that day with Tasha? Was you on the show that day with Tasha? And I said, Tasha. Yeah, AJ. I said, Tasha. I said, if Trump. No. I don't think I said it on the show. Anyway, I was talking to Tasha. Tasha, I love you. 2026, love you to death. But I said to Tasha, Tasha, if Donald Trump called you or the White House said, hey, we want to put together to give black folks reparations. And we need you to be on the panel to figure out how we could do it and what is the money we give back. Would you go? She said no. I said, what? Oh, it's Trump. See, that's the mindset. If that is the mindset that holds black folks back. No other ethnic group stays one-sided.
And bigger, and let me just say, bigger than Trump. Point blank, this is bigger than Trump. You have to work with the party that is in power. And if you're in a position, that's who you got to work with. Like, they got mad at that Republican governor from New Jersey because he worked with Obama to get that money to get the Jersey fixed after Superstorm Sandy. Christie, remember? You know what I'm saying? They gave him the business, man. It was like, but Obama was the president, and that's who he needed to bring funds in. So you have to work with those. You have to work with those that are empowered to get the like. You can't. We're at a point right now, and bigger than just the presidency. We're at a point right now in regular day-to-day life where we won't have a conversation with somebody else who has a total opposite political view. So see, that's what the problem is. So we're not talking to each other, we talking at each other. You understand what I'm saying? I have conversations with some Republicans. Sometimes I gotta put them in, sometimes I gotta, put a little whoop ass on them. But you know what I'm saying? But I still have conversations. I don't agree with a lot of stuff they say, and they don't agree with a lot of stuff I say. You understand what I'm saying? But we have conversations. When we get into a point now, we no longer having these conversations. So I'm staying on my side of the fence, and you staying on your side of the fence, and we don't talk to each other no more. And that's why nothing is getting done. Period. Point blank. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like that's what part of the game is that. Like, you always had to work with the other people to get things done. Like, you understand what I'm saying? We've never been in black people, we ain't never been running things where we had to work with other people. We ain't never ran the system where we had to work with nobody. You know what I'm saying? We got to work with people. Like, when was we running things where we could just do what we wanted and we didn't have to work with nobody? I missed that part. I missed that part of history. I missed that. I missed that day. I missed that. But we have to work with other people, and we need to continue to. Do you know there are several times I have sat down and we've had conversations, and they start out a little heated, but at the end of the conversation, if you have two reasonable people, because some people you just can't, everybody ain't reasonable, you get to hear some of what they feel, and you get to understand why they feel the way they feel. You don't have, and still don't agree with it, but you get to understand why they feel the way they feel. You understand? You get to hear what they're coming from, where they're coming from. And that's the beginning of, once you can understand how they're coming, you can know how to move. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where this thing is where, we ain't talking to no Republicans because they Republicans. We got flack for having a Republican on the show, and it was like, why you got that Republican on there?
Exactly.
What?
Like,
yeah.
First off, I'm not a Democrat. I'm independent. First off, I'm not. What?
Why would they say? So they don't know. This is media. Why wouldn't you want to hear that person?
Because
like,
what we're taught We're taught to be one-sided. We're taught to think one way. So when you have a different opinion and you're black, the first thing they want to dismiss you is being a MAGA black or this and that. This is why on a national level, and this is that Democrats are losing support because we cannot have real conversations about change. We have real conversations about change without you start labeling a motherfucker, especially on Facebook. I really hate that. I really hate that because a lot of people come from non-lived experience anyway, and a lot of these subjects. And what AJ is talking about is so correct. It's so correct. We're in this situation with ICE because nobody wants to work with each other. Republicans or Democrats. And don't tell me you care about the community and you don't even send your police out to make sure ICE is doing what they're supposed to do. So don't give me that when you order your police not to work with ICE. You don't care about the community. You just want chaos because it fills your rhetoric, your continued rhetoric. No, I don't agree with everything.
The keyword you just said was rhetoric. Yo, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't agree with everything ICE do. But I do know it could be better if everybody was working together. Absolutely. They could do their little warrants, they could do their civil warrants or their judicial warrants and take them out. This is why Chicago was turned upside down, because literally you put the migrants in the black community and they say, well, ICE is coming for you. Then you shouldn't have put them in our goddamn town. It's not our fight. It's not our fight. I can name 5 cases right now, and I hope if Tish James opened up her goddamn mouth about ICE, she's a fucking hypocrite. Because 5 cases under her watch, she did nothing when people were shot at, and killed unarmed by police. And not one damn indictment. So Democrats in New York, don't hand me that. The first one I see, I'm going to write them a letter. Shut up. Where was all this outrage for Dan Roy Henry? Where the cop jumped on the hood and shot in the car and killed that young man. I didn't see all that outrage. I didn't see Dan Roy Henry on nobody's timeline.
Wait, and then the other cop thought the cop was the aggressor, not Dan Roy. Right. The other cop thought he was the other cop. He said he was the aggressor. He didn't realize the dude was a cop. He thought that was the problem. Like he was charging the car. Like,
Tish James, shut your mouth. You better not say, I swear to God, if I see anything, you say something. I'm writing a whole op-ed and sending out to everybody. You are not qualified to talk about that shooting out there in Minnesota. How many times you turned your back on police shootings in New York and refused to even go to the grand jury? Even refused to take it to a grand jury. Send it back to the police department talking about, oh, they need more training. No, they need to be fired. They shot an unarmed person. That Jarrell Garris, how was he in fear of his life? He was the aggressor. And for any black women talking about, oh, you talking about, miss me with that. A man's dead, a mother's crying, a black woman. And y'all worried about Tish James. She wasn't worried about that black woman and her son.
Shout out to Glenn Butler. Yo, so real quick, because I know we're coming to the end of the show, and I definitely want to make sure I got several texts, and then Keisha just sent us two.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, February 4th, they're having a screening and panel discussion for the film The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain, executive produced by Morgan Freeman. On the panel, they're gonna have Frankie Faison, who played Kenneth Chamberlain. They're gonna have the Enrico Natale, who's the producer, Kenneth Chamberlain Jr., son of Kenneth Chamberlain, Mayor Bartlett, and Earl Ward, civil rights attorney, and several others. It's going to be at the Tishman Auditorium. Sorry, the Tishman Auditorium, Vanderbilt Hall, NYU School of Law, 40 Washington Square, South New York City. I'm going to post this flyer up on the website and on our social media. But if anyone has not seen this film, you need to go see this film. Even if you think you heard the story before. Yes, it's 5 to 8. Yes, even if you think you heard the story before, even if you think you know the story, watching this film puts a whole new perspective. Ain't nobody been closer to the situation than Damon. Damon knew Kenneth Chamberlain. Damon was a correction officer because of Kenneth Chamberlain. He went to the Marines because of Kenneth Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he grew up with Kenny. So when he seen it, and he been fighting with Kenny since day one, when he saw it, he was moved on a whole nother level. And don't nobody know the story better than him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Yo, Larnez, I was sitting, Damon sitting behind me. I'm feeling myself getting a little teary-eyed. I'm trying to man up real quick because, you know, Damon sitting behind me. He weeping behind me. Like, yo, he teary-eyed behind me. Yo, word up.
I saw the movie 3 times.
I saw it twice.
To premiere, I saw it 3 times, and I cried every time, knowing what the hell gonna happen in the movie. Right? You know the name. It's in the name. The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. You know he's gonna die at the end, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just so dope how they put it together, how they did all that, and the movie was put together. And big shout out to Ken Jr. because see, that's why I always tell them they need to have a part 2 because the story didn't stop. The story didn't stop with the killing of his father, right? That was the catalyst for what his son did and how his son handled the situation when Negroes like Al Sharpton and all these other leaders and people didn't want to touch it. And he still fought and did what he had to do. See, there's another story in that. And I stay on Kenny. I said, bro, you got to put it down on paper. You know, you have to put it down on paper because there's another story that needs to be told. Mm-hmm. And that's what Kenny did to get it to the point.
Right, fighting.
And I keep telling them, I want Bokeem Woodbine to play me. You better get you better get Bokeem Woodbine. I'm not. Listen, we got to figure out. We got a GoFundMe to pay him. I need both. I want Bokeem Woodbine to pay. Put some glasses on him, a suit and a bow tie. He look just like me.
That's funny.
You know, and it's crazy because I had just missed him one night out in LA when I was with Carl Kanai. I was so mad. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? That's my dude. You know? Yeah, I wanted to take a picture, man. I was so mad I missed him. And I was like, what? You know, I'm around. He said, yeah, Bokeem Woodbine. Yeah. I said, where? They said, oh, he left. I said, God damn, I missed him. You know, so yeah. That's why I want Bokeem Woodbine, Kenny. I'm putting the bid in right now, man.
and you know, I say this all the time, and you never really. It's so important to keep saying, yo, the cops went to his father's apartment for a welfare check to check on him because he didn't answer the call when the life alert people called. So they, send the cops for a welfare check. 90 minutes later, his father is dead. They're cursing at him, calling him all kinds of things. Yo, nobody could have blamed Kenny if he really was on some fuck the police shit at that point. But he channeled that and co-founded the Westchester Coalition for Police Reform and has worked with every police department that was willing to work with them on better police community relations. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And I always say, you'd like to think that you would be big enough to do that. I'm not sure. I would like to believe that I could do that, but I'm not sure I would have the same response. I'm keeping it real, like, yo, and that has to be that has to be talked about. Because I mean, like, yo, the work he has done, I have been with him several times, drove down to Brooklyn to that family in Brooklyn. Yo, every other situation where someone else lost a loved one at the hands of the police, he was there to fight for them, to comfort them, to share their story with them. Same thing with Jarrell Garrett's family recently. He was there talking to the family of what to expect and, what the procedure was going to be and all that. Like, Raynette Turner in Mount Vernon, her husband was like, yo, he ain't know the dude. He just walked up to him and was like, yo, had a conversation with him. And he comforted all these families and helped them fight. And yo, dude, like, yo, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Well, thank you, my brothers, for the accolade.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt, dude.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yo, Kenny, man. Now that you on the now that I see, I ain't know you was here, man. I'm putting in my bid. I'm putting in my bid, brother. When you do the follow-up movie, and I know I told you this in private, telling you in public, I want Bokeem Woodbine to play me.
Yo, and I can see him at the press conference with the bow tie, just bringing that fire. Like, I could literally see that. I was at those press conferences with David. I could see him pulling that off. Like, I could actually see him pull it off, for real talk.
Yo, son, the greatest moment, hey, Kenny, the greatest moment is when we had a report on the use of force review that White Plains did, and Professor Bell, God bless the dead, he's not here anymore, from Jackson State University, did a report on the report. Man, when we put that out there, man, all New York State was like, these Negroes ain't playing. these niggas. Yeah, I'm serious about it. Listen, Kenny will tell you I said it to him in public.
Yo, Keisha, there's a lot of people that have unrealistic expectations. Be like, I want Denzel to play me. Or I want Halle Berry to play. They don't look nothing like you. Yo, this actually is a good fit. This is actually would work. I actually can picture him doing it. Like, yo, this would be actually. This is not one of those where you be like, oh, I want Denzel to play me. Not Denzel, you look like you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen. I don't care if I'm on there.
We talking about Halle Berry gonna play me. No, Halle Berry ain't gonna play you ever. Like,
exactly. I don't care if they got a little slot me at the press conference for 2-3 minutes. Wherever the part, I want Bokeem Woodbine to walk up in there and do the damn thing, man. Do the thing. And I want a picture with him, and I'm good. No, we're about to close out, but I want to close out with
into existence. Is that what they say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to close out with Rochelle Bilal, the sheriff, and there's two views. So I want to close out with Rochelle Bilal, what she said. I know her personally. Was a 2-page, and they talked about my father's kid and plays the office. Yeah, then we came out and blew him out the water, son. Blew him out the water. That was historic for Black law enforcement, man. I did some great stuff, man. I might have to talk about a biopic. I did some extraordinary stuff from a little Negro from Greenberg. You know, I might have to talk about a biopic, man. So we're going to talk about Michelle Bilal. We're going to show her statement, and we're going to show the response from ICE, their response on Twitter. And then we're going to show what the Chicago police chief or commissioner, his response, not to the shooting, but his response to a lot of the chaos that's been going around with ICE, because we just play it. We just gonna play it. So, and then this is the different opinions, and we're gonna play it. It is what it is. Let me see. Where's she at? Here she go.
Michelle Bilal, the sheriff for the city and county of Philadelphia. And I say her name, Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good. This should not have happened, but we're here today. Let know that law enforcement professionals, real ones, not the fake made up ICE, probably Trump's new army to attack citizens of the United States. Did you hear what I said? No law enforcement professional wears a mask. None. None. Those that come into our communities wearing a mask to commit crime.
Oh, what happened?
For our district attorney, Larry Krasner, who say he's going to lock him up. And I'm saying now, we are not going to whisk you away for them to hide your identity, because when you do it there, you're getting arrested there. No whisk away for them to hide you. None of that here. None of that here. Law enforcement professionals do not shoot at moving vehicles. I'm not saying fleeing, because she wasn't fleeing. She was getting out of the way. Law enforcement professionals do not stand in front of moving vehicles invoking an action that is illegal. No, we don't. And so we stand here today with all those who stand against the made-up, fake, what you can call ICE, professional law enforcement. I don't call them none of that. I call them made-up, fake, wannabe law enforcement, because what they do is against not only legal law, but the moral law. So I'm with the DA, and we will work with them. If any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will whisk you off. You don't want this smoke, because we will bring it to you. And the fake, whatever they call them.
Look at AJ like, what?
I can't say the name, but the criminal in the White House would not be able to keep you from going to jail. Renee Good should be here today. And to her family, we are saying law enforcement professionals are not the ones here in this city that would do that. But here's the last thing that I will say. Law enforcement professionals around the country do their job. And we have been fighting for years to build that bridge between us and our communities. You have one negative nutcase that causes this problem, and now we all have to fight again to let people know law enforcement works with communities. These crimes would not be down if we didn't have communities work with us. Thank you.
She said, give me that smoke. We want all that smoke.
Well, the smoke's coming. The U.S. Immigration and Customs respond. You arresting the ICE officers? Try it and see what happens. First of all, you can't arrest an ICE agent. Let's just come on, man. Like look, I know Michelle Bilal. I've known her for over 20 some odd years. No, we haven't been the best acquaintances. Right? And I'm just keeping it 100. But you're not arresting an ICE agent. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. Your police department is not. See, we know that if the feds want to, they could come and take over police department. Period. Don't bring no heat. Don't bring that type of heat on your police department. Don't bring that type of heat on your community or what we call it. See, that's an elected position, and that's the rhetoric we talk about, AJ, that is unnecessary. If she really want her community to be safe, she need to make sure that her sheriff department is out there working alongside ICE to make sure that the community is not in the middle of extractions or anything like that. And there's other videos I don't feel like getting into tonight. The other videos that came out, let the Republicans and Democrat fools argue it back out. No, he shouldn't have shot. And no, they shouldn't have been taunting. No, leave, sometimes you just got to leave things alone. That's why we have classes, how did you survive police confrontation? So incidents like this won't happen. We have to protect ourselves. We really have to start protecting ourselves and not fall into the rhetoric. Now, if she's a sheriff, she knows that ICE is not illegitimate. She knows that. She already knows that. No, I don't agree with the mask, but their excuses is that now there's some organizations putting their addresses and putting their family in danger. So one, Joe Murray said the supremacy clause means that federal law trumps state law in federal matters such as federal ICE officer uniform. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We should not see, as responsible Black law enforcement, we should not feed into the rhetoric. And because that's how you get people killed. That's how you get people killed. You're feeding into this rhetoric. They shot a white woman. Let your black ass go over there and start doing what they were doing, filming them and calling them all type of names and all that. The video is out there. I'm not showing it. One of my mentors from Dallas Police Department, he said the worst thing you want to do is fall victim of POP. And I said, brother, what's that? He said, pissing off a police officer. Exactly. POP, pissing off a police officer. That's the worst thing you want to be a victim of. And it's not being less of a man or less of a woman to want to go home safe. I showed my wife this video this morning. They had this white woman hanging on the hood of an ICE van while the van is driving, talking about, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. And then somebody in the crowd was like, well, get the fuck off the hood.
A white
get
woman?
off the hood. Yeah.
Because that ain't no sister. That ain't no sister.
No, but see, that's when it gives us, because it plays on our history of oppression, right? Our history of not liking law enforcement anyway. Mm-hmm. Right? You got parents telling children, or you got grown adults telling young children, don't take a test. You don't want to be part of that. Well, you don't want to be part of making $200,000 a year and having good benefits for the rest of your life and a pension after 20 years, that you could get a check, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, and you ain't got to work? Huh? You telling children not to do that? Then you're an idiot. POPO, pissing off police officer. Yeah. So we have to, that's a lot of Black people in general are sitting a lot of this stuff out. We should sit it out. I've said from the beginning of the Trump administration, this is not Black people's fight. Whether we like it or not. But y'all keep going out there. Now, this is a different view from the Black chief in Chicago.
Agents, ICE, HSI, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. If you box them in with vehicles, it is reasonable for them to believe that they are being ambushed and that this could end in a deadly situation. And it's reasonable for them to use force based on those conditions. Do not box in any law enforcement officer. You are breaking the law when you do that. And you are putting yourself in danger. Following law enforcement agents around. The question is why? What do you plan on doing? It's also reasonable for them to believe that you're eventually going to do harm to them. If you ram any vehicle, especially that one that contains law enforcement agents, and that's any law enforcement, local, state, federal, county, and you do this intentionally, this is considered deadly force. Deadly force is anything that can cause great bodily harm or death. When you plow into a vehicle that contains law enforcement agents, you're using deadly force. And they can use deadly force in response to stop you. We need to be clear about these laws.
Exactly.
We cannot become a society where we just decide to take everything in our own hands and start to commit crimes against law enforcement. It is a crime. You may not like what they're doing. I can understand that there's a lot of emotions out there, but that does not mean that you get to commit a crime, especially one that could lead to deadly force. We need to keep everyone safe. Our responsibilities when it comes to federal agents, and I've been asked these questions, we do not interfere with the duties and responsibilities of federal agents. We don't have to agree with it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to agree with it. We do not.
Yo, I just want to say one thing real quick, and then I'm out. Yo, to all my brothers and sisters, to all Black people watching, listening, and who will hear this later, do not let this foolishness inspire you to go out and do this. Because when Black people do stuff that the foolish white people do, we end up getting killed. You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, white people can scream at cops and all that other stuff. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? Don't follow these white people. It will get you killed. Shot at or killed, arrested. Well, arrested is the easiest to kill.
Ain't no coming back from that.
Don't do it. Yeah, ain't no coming back from that. Like, yo, and even when you write, like my grandfather used to have a saying. He'd be like, I was like, yo, but I was right. He said, ain't no sense in being dead right. Ain't no sense in being dead right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know, so
yeah.
that do not, for my Black people, this is Black Westchester, so I'm speaking to the Black people, do not look at these white people doing this foolishness and think, oh, I could do it too. Oh no, there's a bullet in your ass waiting for your ass. I'm telling you, don't follow. Listen. They shot a white woman in her face. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
A white woman in her face. You understand?
I'm sorry.
Shooting a white woman in the face, that's like 10 Black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like 10 Black people. Like, that's like spraying a whole group of Black people. Like, yo, they shot a white woman in her face. Do not look at this stuff. And when these white people go out there and they be like, come on, nope, stay your ass home, let them handle that themselves.
Exactly.
Because you and them gonna be there. Who gonna get shot? You gonna get shot. They the one yelling, you the one gonna get shot.
Listen.
I know I'm saying it as a joke. But I'm real serious though. Please, my people, do not follow that foolishness. Do not follow that foolishness.
They learning that they can't do it either.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, yeah, they learning they can't do it either. But I'm just saying we get caught up throughout history. White people, white women especially, they get on these missions and they get black people and black women especially to follow them in their fight. And you know what I'm saying? It ain't our fight. Like it ain't our fight. It ain't our fight.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that from the beginning, man. Y'all have seen two different views from two different police departments, right? Two different views from two different police departments. One was about rhetoric, that they gonna go and arrest ICE and do all that. And the one was and the Chicago police chief was telling you what it is. Stay out of their way or you will get killed. Plain as simple. It ain't even, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. All this stuff that we seeing people out here doing, don't do that. Black folks, especially if you're black, don't do that. Don't do it. I'm just trying to look. I'm saying it without a love. And on the when is it? The 20. What date is it? The 20 what? We NAACP Yonkers. What day was it?
February 23rd or something like that. Was that the date?
Oh, it's Black History Month too. I gotta come.
I confirmed it. Let me go up the chat. Hold on.
I just ordered. Oh, I'm gonna get my new Michael Lamont tie in by that time. I'm gonna have my new Michael Lamont tie by that time of the thing.
So we confirmed February 23rd from February 23rd. 2026, 7 p.m. Let's get the flyer out and start promoting. We ready. We confirmed.
Exactly. Exactly. We gotta do. We need a campaign of black folks. Sit this one out.
She said, you heard? She said, we coming extra black-tastic.
That's right. We definitely do it. And I gotta order. I got one tie coming. Might have to order another one. Something special for that one, man. But we need to start doing this, and I'm glad, and I'm glad that we're gonna do it, and we're gonna have this conversation, and we could continue to have this conversation because black folks need to be educated, because there's a lot of political rhetoric that's going to get people killed. I don't want it to be our people. White folks, if they want to do what they want to do. Hashtag sit this one out. There you go. We got to make some t-shirts. I'm going to make a t-shirt and sell it. Hashtag sit this one out. Sit down. Sit down. So thanks. I want to thank everybody. And let's not forget. Let's not forget. Oh, that's the 2025 one. Well, anyway, January 28th, 2026.
Wednesday.
We all gonna be in Mount Vernon. We gonna be standing up for Derek Williams, who has put his life on the line and caught COVID during the pandemic, and now he has kidney failure from the COVID, and instead of honoring as job injury, they trying to fire him. So we're going to be there. This is, look, and just look at the difference of what he was before he got sick, and the effect of 7 days of dialysis. So we're coming out in support. And at the end, we got a little promotion for it. And if people can't make it, please call in to City Hall. You get 4 minutes to make a comment. You could do it via Zoom to show your support for Derek Williams, for the City Council of Mount Vernon to do the right thing, review his workman's compensation 207C, give him his back pay, and allow him and so he could get credit for the years that he was off payroll, so he could retire in dignity this year and focus on getting better and living instead of this nonsense that we see. I've been getting calls from law enforcement all over the country, and they just can't believe. They can't believe what's going on in Mount Vernon. They can't believe that an officer is not covered catching COVID in the pandemic. It has no excuse. So we're going to stand up, and I'm done. Everybody else, you want to close out?
Yo, we also got to bring Dow Days back on so he could talk about the Justice for Tomorrow the rally they had on Thursday. Have him talk about that again. Shout out to Wade Hardy. He's going to be the cover of the January issue. You got one more week to advertise in that issue. And I'm sure there was some other stuff going down. If I forgot to mention it, forgive me. But Linez, any last words?
Nope. Just, awareness is the first step, and accountability is what we're here for. Thank you for showing up for us.
No doubt. This has been another edition. This has been another episode of Black Westchester Presents, the People Before Politics radio show, every Sunday, 6 to 8 or 8-ish, as in today. Simulcasted live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and anywhere else that they're going to let us stream the show, and also on blackwestchester.com. All the stories we talked about you can find on blackwestchester.com. Make sure you share, you like, and subscribe. So every time we do a video, you'll get the notification. You know what I'm saying? So shame on them non-growth Negroes. To show that before I leave.
and tomorrow at 8 p.m., the publisher's desk. It's going to be all about ICE, what the law says, and what your feelings say. Check it out at 8 p.m. because we just gotta get beyond our feelings. So that's it. Everybody have a blessed day. Have a blacktastic week coming up, and peace out.
Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land, on Wednesday, January 28th at Mount Vernon, New York City Hall. Law enforcement and the community are coming together at Mount Vernon City Hall to stand with Officer Derek Williams, a 19-year police veteran battling kidney failure after contracting COVID while protecting the city. A press conference begins at 6:30 p.m., followed by the City Council meeting at 7 p.m. Join us to demand that Mount Vernon follow state and federal laws protecting officers who contracted COVID-19 during the pandemic. This Valentine's Day, make it sweet with Cupcake Cutie Boutique. They're serving fresh, hand-dipped chocolate-covered strawberries, perfect for date night, gifts, or a treat for yourself. For a limited time, order through DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Grubhub, and get 20% off our chocolate-covered strawberries. Love should taste this good. If you've been thinking about investing but didn't know where to start, this is your sign. Presented by Black Westchester Magazine and Noir Network, the Ownership Society is a community of like-minded people focused on building generational wealth 1 month at a time. No hype, no gambling, just disciplined investing, shared learning, and real ownership. Whether you start with $20 or $100, the key is consistency. Scan the QR code or click the link in the conversation to join us, download Robinhood, and take your first step toward owning your future. Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent Black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.